everyone, this is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we will be tying my version of it's a British style Blue Flash Damsel, but it's a little bit different than a Blue Flash Damsel. But it's a really effective pattern, especially for when the damsels start showing up. So usually June-ish, give or take. I tie this one with a bead in this video, but I also tie this one without a bead and just put orange thread at the head instead of an orange bead. I like fishing damsels just subsurface, so if I'm fishing with this one, definitely a floating line. If I fish with the other one, it's also a floating line, so I'm just subsurface. Or I use a type 1 sink tip, like a 3-foot sink tip, just to get it down a little bit with no weight on the fly itself. So I really like fishing damsels. It's one of my favorite. And again, what I usually do is I park myself closer to the weeds and I cast away from the weeds and then strip back towards the weeds. Natural evolution of the damsel is to come back towards the weeds so they can grab onto something, climb out, and hatch. So that's what I copy. I don't cast towards the weeds very often when I'm fishing damsels, just because they don't migrate that way. They don't migrate away from the weeds. They migrate into the weeds. So sometimes I'll cast alongside the weeds, along with the weeds, but most of the time I cast from the weeds out and drag it back. So. Alrighty, so have fun with this one. It's like I say, it's a bit different. You'll see in the video, it's a very long tail on this one, typical of how the British tie them. So that's why I kept it this way. But I will pinch the tail if I'm getting false hits. So, but alrighty, hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get tying. Alrighty. Today we are going to be using a FW 581 from Ahrex in a size 12. It's a 1/8. This is just a regular brass bead. If you want it to be faster sinking, use tungsten. I like the brass beads for this one because I don't like fishing this one too deep. For the tail, I'll be using some Hends Marabou. I really like the Hends Marabou. Unfortunately, it's a little tough to find. The only place I know you can get it in Canada is through Gary Hankey at Fly Life Canada. But a nice light olive or olive Marabou. Excuse me. For the body, we're going to be using some Semperfli mirror tinsel in iris blue. For the hackle, we're going to be using this beautiful, absolutely beautiful medium ginger barred dun. Oop, absolutely beautiful. This one's from there you go, Borealis. Oh Jesus, Borealis hackle. Wow, in Idaho. I got this off the Flysmith. So, and then for the flash, I will be using. Where did I put it? Oh, right underneath there. For the flash, I'll be using a little bit of the Semperfli Baitfish Super Flash Blue Tint for the tail. Okay, some flash in the tail. And for the thread, I'll be using some Semperfli Nanosilk in olive green. Definitely a very British style of tying a Blue Flash Damsel or similar. This is a variant to the Blue Flash Damsel, but it's definitely a British style. And the reason I say this, it has quite a long tail. So now I'm just going to build up a bit of a bump right at the back here. And this bump will help hold that marabou out and help it to not get fouled in the tail, in the hook, sorry. Because it is, like I said, this is a long tail on this one. And I've done well with it with the long tail, and I've done well with it with a shorter tail. I just really like tying them long, like the Brits do, and then I can always shorten it out in the water, right? I can always pinch it off and break it off. So get my nice little package of marabou, just get a little bit wet with some saliva, just so it's a little bit more controllable. about there. So I'll cut that off there. And then I'll just tie this in nice and tight right at the front, all the way down the body to that bump. Right, and that'll help hold that up. Okay, and then I'll just come back up, a couple of wraps, get a little bit of that blue flash, get about 3 or 4 strands, 1, 2, 3, 4 strands, and I'm just gonna lay that in there. Just lay that in there, and then I'll take it up and over the other side, and I'll lay that on that side, and then I'll tie it in all the way. Okay, just making sure that these stay fairly well on the side. They don't have to be perfect, but you don't want them on top, that's for sure. So I'll just take them and stroke them all back here. And just get that all the way back to that bump that we created. Okay, and now I will just cut that right at a little tiny bit, about the same length as the longest fiber on the tail. Okay, I'm just going to move my vise just a bit so you guys can see the whole thing. There we go. Again, I'm just wetting it a bit just to make sure it stays down for you guys to see. And then I'm going to grab some of this mirror tinsel. Now, if you want it even bluer, have a bit of a use blue thread if you want it even bluer, but I find that this is plenty blue. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. I forgot a step. Semperfli 0.2 mil wire. Just a little piece of it. It's going to be my counter wrap for my hackle, just to help my hackle. Come on. There you go. Okay, now I'll tie in my body material. Just offer that up to my side. All the way back to the tail. Come forward. And then usually what I like doing is a full wrap forward, a full wrap back, and then forward again. Just make sure that blue is really there, right? You don't have to. If you want to have them slightly lighter colored, then don't do that double wrap. Come on. Sucks being blind to one eye. No depth perception. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a really nice little hackle here. You don't want a really long one, so like long fibers. Whoo! God, this is such a beautiful, beautiful piece of tying material. Just love this one. Thanks again to Brian at the Fly Smith for supplying it. So now, just a turn there, and then 1, 2 turns, maybe 3 at the most, going back. You don't want a lot. And then 1. And then, like I said, just a little bit of counter wrap for your wire. Helicopter. Let's see if I can bust this without making a mess. Yeah, there we go. We're going to put my whip finished. Just give that a whip finish. And like I said, if you want to make it, if you want to use blue thread, that's great too. It'll blend a little bit better at the front here, but it's so minor, I don't usually worry about it. So there is my little variation of a Blue Flash Damsel. Said it's a variation, and sometimes I'll tie these with, I'll use orange thread at the head instead of an orange bead, because I sometimes want this to be just subsurface. And like I said, with the, if I'm down on the water and I'm finding I'm getting short hits, I'll just grab it and pinch, and then I'll cut the, pinch off the Marabou, and then I'll cut off the Flashabou. But that is the final fly. That's about 2.5 inches long, give or take. So, okay, super simple, really good, very effective fly at times, especially when the damsels are on the move. And that orange bead just gives it that hey, what's that, right? Just gets them the attention. So thanks for watching. If you subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't, please consider doing so. Giveaway coming in the next month. It is late October now, so it's almost Halloween actually. It's like day after tomorrow. So by the end of November, I'll have a giveaway. I'm just waiting for the stuff to come in so I know what's in the giveaway. So there'll be some Renomed products, some Ahrex products, a few Semperfli things, a few other things. We'll see. We'll see what comes in. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thailands, everyone.